Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Slumber Party. Look who's here. Helen's joining us again. Now she's spitting coffee everywhere.
Caught me act, sorry. Sorry.
No, that's okay. And hello and welcome. Let's scroll to the top and say hello. Holy crap. We got a lot of people here already. Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Bora. We got Maureen and Rose and Judith in sixes, and Aileen and Judith. And
so nice to hear the same names, recognize
them. And some of these are new names, so welcome. Thank you for coming. We got Karen, we got Chris, Queen, and Chris. We got two Chris's in here tonight. I forget the other one. Wait, I'll find his name in a minute. Cassidy. We got Chris Queen and Chris Cassidy.
That name rings a bell too, yeah.
Yeah, and Jamie and Arwen. Oh, hey, Arwen, I haven't seen you in a while. And let's see. Scrolling down. And we got a Tim. Hi, Tim. Welcome. Oh, he's in Texas. What part of Texas?
I'm so sorry.
I'd say sorry, but I'm in Louisiana. We're not in.
Yeah, you're in no place to talk. I'll tell you what.
My Three Shifting Veils. I love that name.
It's pretty,
and
huh?
Vicky and Polly and Tyler. There's another new name. Hi. Well, welcome to the new people. I mean, maybe you've been here before. You just haven't chatted, but
or it's entirely possible at our ripe old age we just don't remember.
That could be too. And M. Steve is here, and Andrea is here, and oh my goodness, so many of y'all. Well, I want to start out by saying, if y'all have not caught Helen's book reviews that she does every weekend, she did a book for this Saturday. I've listened to part 1. I haven't listened to part 2 yet. That will shake you to your core, but I think it's something we all need to hear.
I used to have long hair.
And it's not like it wasn't information I didn't know, but just the way that this author has broken it down was like, oh, damn. I never really quite thought about it like that. So go to Helen's channel and check out her book that she did today. She did 2 parts or 3 parts?
I did 2 parts today. I try not to. I used to overwhelm people, so I try to pace myself. I'm not known for my not discretion, but just going easy on things. Moderation. That's the word I want. Yeah. So it's 2 1-hour videos today, and there'll be 2 more weeks of 2 1-hour videos. I finished reading it today, and I'll tell you. I heard the author being interviewed on a podcast, and I get these books present themselves, right? And I thought, I have to do that book. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, oh God, nobody wants to hear this. People can't even stand it when I point out that Biden is confused. Don't come at me. I've had enough of that. This book is just so difficult, so difficult.
But it's a very important topic. And it's something we need to think. And it has to do with nuclear war, which we all pray God will never, ever happen. But it's why, ever since I had the option of choosing where I've lived, I've always chosen to live in a first strike zone. Because it's like, I don't want to be here the day after.
I know. I used to joke about I'm going to put an X on the top of my head.
I don't want to be laying in a ditch half fried for hours before I finally pass. I want to go that fast.
I just want people to know that I don't even get into the gory part. I skip over. I read it, but I don't summarize it because I just can't. It's just too awful. You can read the book, and you should read the book. And I would say that it's a perfect week to do it, given all the controversy, that's been swirling over both candidates.
Well, I feel like that everybody needs to be well aware of what's
when you go to vote on November 5th, if you don't think about anything else, this is the one thing that should make it easy for you to decide. Who are you going to pick? A kindly old man who's confused and surrounded by lots of very good advisors, or a lying psychopath? You decide.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's horrifying.
It is. But like I said, it's also very necessary just to be aware more than anything else of why the choices we make politically are so damn important.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, don't let anybody fool you into thinking your vote doesn't count.
It matters.
Counts. Vote.
Well, you know, Putin was
or you
threatening.
wind up like we did in Louisiana, where nobody showed up to vote the last election, and now we have a MAGA governor, a MAGA state senate. And it's like, yeah, this is going to be fun.
That's right.
Arthur says he's not getting reelected, so I'm pinning my hope on Arthur that he's right. And he's pretty spot on most of the time.
Well, you know, I don't disagree with that. A lot of people who've been, you know, psychics and readers and stuff have said that Biden will win the election. But there's winning the election and there's putting somebody in the White House, and those are two different things. He could get the popular vote, and then you know what's going to hit the fan. And I worry about that. I have to admit that that's a concern that I have, but I don't want to bring everybody down. Just remember, Putin has threatened to use a tactical nuclear weapon in Ukraine. And in my stupidity, I for a long time have thought, well, that would be horrible. I would not ever want that to happen because it'll destroy probably a couple of places in Ukraine and it'll irradiate a larger area. And then they'll all come to the table and negotiate, right? No. One, it's curtains. All it takes is one, because they have policies, and the policies are, when this happens, we strike back, and it's not negotiable. And it's then it's you know, then it's like this, right?
And from the way I've always understood it, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's set up so that the second somebody launches, we automatically launch.
It's called launch on warning. Yeah, and so as soon as their satellite tells them that somebody has set out a nuclear weapon, an ICBM, they have to wait until ground radar confirms it because of the curvature of the Earth. They can't be sure what direction it's flying. As soon as they know the general, it's coming to the United States, full out attack.
Yeah. And for those of you who are old enough to remember the movie from back in the 80s, War Games, with a very young, crap, now I'm going to go blank on his name.
I haven't seen it.
He was Ferris Bueller in Ferris Bueller's Day
Off. Matthew Broderick.
Thank you. Matthew Broderick, yes. He was, and of course he was very young when he did this movie. He was barely out of being a teen, I think. But he starred in the movie, and it was about a kid who was this was back when computers were first starting to kind of get into the homes. And
you mean like last year?
And he was like a hacker, he was into the games, and so he was always searching for new games that weren't on the market yet. Can I get in the back door to play these games? And he breaks into this game that he thinks is just a game from a gaming company.
Oh, no.
And it turns out it's NORAD that he managed to hack into. And he starts a game with the computer of thermonuclear war. And he winds up putting the entire country in DEFCON 1 or whatever it is.
Oh my God.
And it's like the men in black come and get him and his girlfriend, and they're like thinking he's a spy for another country or this or that. He was like, I was just trying to play a game. And it's this crazy movie of him trying to get in touch with the guy that created the system that they used. And in order, because they, in the end, as everything seems to be happening, and the computer's telling them that all these countries are shooting bombs at them, and it's trying to get the computer to learn from the game of tic tac toe that there's no winner in this kind of game.
Yeah. Well, that's for sure.
And
That's the book.
don't send anything out because it's not real.
Yeah.
Nothing's coming. You don't send stuff out. And so it was bringing home the point that that's why it's so important to have actual live breathing people in the silos, because they can not turn the key and push the button.
Right.
You know, whereas a computer is just going to do what's automatically programmed to do.
What year was that movie?
Hey, y'all help me. It had to have been sometime in the late 80s, early 90s. I mean, he was young. I don't remember if it was before Ferris Bueller or after Ferris Bueller. But
Ferris Bueller.
Yeah. Which is a great movie too. But it was just such a fascinating movie, just the way the story was told and all the stuff that they did.
Yeah.
And the innocence of somebody making a horrible mistake and not knowing that they're making this mistake all because they want to play a game, you know, and just what can happen. And so yeah, it's when you were talking about this book, I'm thinking about the movie, thinking, wow, this is like deja vu all over again.
Well, listening to you talk about how the early computers reminds me of 1980. When my husband and I were just about ready to get married, we were at his mother's house, and his younger brother, his younger brother is an engineer, and he had a computer in the kitchen. And I can remember shamelessly teasing him, what the hell do you need a computer at your house for? What are you going to do with that thing? Just making fun of him. Okay, sorry.
We got our first computer. It was either like just right at the end of 98 or the beginning of 99.
Wow, and, that's early.
Somebody had given my son their cast off. They bought a new one, you know. And so the screen was like yay big. The monitor was gigantic, but the screen was little bitty. And it took freaking forever to load a page or do anything. People would kill themselves today if they had to wait that long.
Hey, listen,
back then.
I remember when televisions were huge, gigantic pieces of furniture with a little tiny round screen.
Yeah, we had one. I remember when we got it, hooked it up, and we got, you've got mail. We had AOL mail, internet, dial-up, little turn. I could still hear that damn sound in my head. But I remember when we first got online, and the first thing my son told me was, well, you got to have an internet name. I'm like, what's wrong with my name? He says, no, you don't want to use your name. You got to have an internet name, like an avatar name. And
I wonder, why couldn't you use your own name?
Because everybody was terrified that they would get hunted down if they used their real name, I guess. I don't know. But it was like all the thing. Yeah, it was like on a CB radio. Nobody used their real name on a CB radio. They all had CB names,
Oh.
Whatever it could have been. Just a way of being one step removed from what you were doing is how I've always looked at it. And I was like, well, I don't know. What the hell am I going to call myself then? I said, you think of something. And that's when he came up with Swamp Lady. And so I've used some variation
very nice.
of Swamp Lady. I have used a variation of Swamp Lady in everything that I have, that I've used online.
Well, I actually think it's cute. It's clever, I like it.
And it was Swamp without the A. It was just the SWMP, LADY, all one word. And so I kind of got ahead, I guess, of some people trying to figure out smart ways to shorten the names, and my son's the one that came up with it. And
What was he? Probably what, 11?
no, he was just starting high school. His freshman year in
Not
high
far
school.
off.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
But
the good old days.
in the good old days, that's it. Actually, we
I'm
got the computer about a month before I got injured and was disabled when I got hurt at work.
You're back,
And
yeah.
so the first 6 months I was hurt, I spent all my time on this stupid computer trying to figure out how to make it work.
Well, that's why you're good at it. You devoted
And
a
it was
lot of
like
time to it.
I think back and I think if I knew half of then of what I know now, I'd be rich as hell right now because I want to know
Well, who
what
can't
area to
sit
go
up?
into. But it's one of those things you learn as you go. Um, the Hannibal Lecter voice, oh my God. Aaron Aaron Trout says I had the Hannibal Lecter voice on my AOL. Yeah, you could program it with different voices and stuff.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
I don't know how they did that.
Listen,
I
you're
did
talking
good
to
to turn it
somebody.
on. I did good to turn it on and to get the email to pop up, and every now and again try to open a page to look at something. And of course, you could like click on it to open, and then you could get up, go to the bathroom, fix a cup of coffee, come back. No, it's still loading. Okay, go put a load in the wash machine, come back. Oh, okay, it loaded. Um, that's how long it took. I mean,
Oh my
and that was
God.
fast. And that was fast. We were like, oh my God, this is so fast. Look how fast it loaded. It only took an hour. It's like if it takes more than 5 seconds, people are having a conniption fit nowadays. Um,
Well, you're talking to somebody who didn't own a TV, and I still went to Walmart to buy a burner phone. It does email. I mean, I've emailed you. It does email. It does. What's the other
yeah,
thing? Text.
text and
Yeah. What else do you really need? I mean, I don't
yeah.
know. I
When I bought my phone, when I upgraded and bought my newest phone, I have Motorola. I really like the Motorola phones. And I got it because it has a really good, it has lots of backup, lots of space to store things on. And then I bought one of those extra chips for like 128 gigabytes, I think it is, and stuck that in there too. So I've got like lots of storage on my phone, and
Where
I
would you
still
put
run
it?
out of space. There's like a little tray on the side
Oh,
that
okay.
you can
Specially
pop
made
open.
for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
stick it in there. And so it's like that's where I try to store all my stuff is on the chip instead of on the phone itself.
I just get a
And
new phone. I refuse to pay $800 for a phone.
yeah, I'm
I
not
just,
paying that for a
it's
phone. Yeah,
insanity.
I paid the one I have is a
Oh,
it's
it's
a
fancy.
it's a Motorola. That's a cover, so it has a
Oh,
ring I can hold it
oh,
with.
look at that. It's
Um,
bejeweled. Oh my God.
yes, it's I gotta have my bling. I mean,
Oh my
I
God.
bling my phones out. So, but I paid like 175 bucks for that, and it was like the brand new model when I bought it last year. It was like January when I bought it, 2023, and it was a 2023 phone. I was like, yeah, I'm getting the new one. So I paid a little bit of extra for it. It's like I need to upgrade.
Well, why do they keep, here's a question for you. Every time people get a phone, it's immediately obsolete because they've come out with a new one. What's so much better about the new one? I don't get it. Why do they, I mean, isn't it just a marketing thing?
Well, yes and no. Most of the phones they do upgrade. The cameras will get a little better,
Oh,
more storage.
please.
They'll be a little bigger, a little longer.
Because we all want to see this more clear.
Yeah, exactly. Now my son got the brand new iPhone when we switched to uh, Boost, in, Boost Infinite for our new cell service
Oh, I've never
because
heard of that.
they do a thing.
It's regional, right?
It's $25 per line, and that's unlimited everything. unlimited talk, unlimited text, unlimited data. And I wanted the data. That's all I cared about, because my old program that I had, my old company I was with, it seemed like I would no sooner turn it on to use the data if I was somewhere where I couldn't connect Wi-Fi. And in 15 minutes, I'd used up my data, and it was dinging me to pay more. And it would start adding up on the charges, because it's like so much data, you got it in the original plan. And then if you went over for like the next 200 data points or something, it would go up $10 like every.
So what do you use data for? I mean, I know I sound ignorant, and it's because I am.
Data, I use it to watch YouTube. I use it to do my Instagram, my Facebook, if I'm checking something on there, Messenger.
Oh, okay.
Anything that you would do on a computer, like email, YouTube, anything like that, is all requires data. And that's the data space. I don't know how it works or why it works that way, but that's the way it works. I'm sure somebody in the chat can probably explain it better than I can. But I went with them because it was $25 flat rate, unlimited data. I was like, sold. And they had a special program if of course, we did the family plan because it's me and my son on the thing together. And they were like, well, if you get a brand new iPhone, yeah, you pay a little extra, but then every year you get to turn that phone in and get the next brand new iPhone. Well, my son was like, I got to have that. I said, whatever, because he does his sound engineering with his phone. He's got the app downloaded, so when he's at the club, he doesn't have to go stand at the board to do all the stuff to make the sound, make the band sound right. He could go stand at the back of the room, so he's getting the full sound effect, and then he can control everything from his phone, which helps him to modulate it correctly, And so, yeah.
You're just pretending you understand, right? You're just pretending you know what you're talking about. I have no clue.
That's the best way he could make me. That was the best way he could make me understand it when he was trying to explain it to me. Like, okay. Yeah, okay, I got it.
Just agree.
That sounds good. Okay. Anyway, so enough about that. For everybody who has donated and shared and asked how my son is, thank you very, 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 very much. I cannot begin to thank y'all enough. The link for the GoFundMe is in the description box below. Please share it with your friends, your family, your social pages. Not everybody has money to give. If you got an extra $5 or $10, great. If not, no biggie. Just share it. Somebody else will donate, because we got medical expenses now that's going to be coming due. And he had a heart attack last weekend and went in. He was in the hospital for 24 hours, where they were doing EKGs every hour on the hour.
Yeah.
They do so much blood. I'm surprised he has any blood left in him.
Yeah.
But he does have heart disease. That has been determined. You have heart disease. And he had a blockage. They didn't do a stent yet because they're waiting to have a conference with his regular doctor to discuss what possible medications might work best, because he's already taking medicines for a gastrointestinal problem that he has, that he's been dealing with for years. And so they don't want the medications to counteract with each other or to have an adverse effect on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they want to wait until all the doctors can put their heads together and decide, okay, it'd be best maybe if we go down this road or we go down that road. And so we're waiting for his regular doctor to get back from vacation to get all of this decided and done. And
it's insane.
And we'll go from there.
American medical care is insane. My husband had a heart attack. He spent one night in the hospital. Guess how much that bill was? $50,000.
Hey,
$50,000. Insanity.
Yeah, he's a vet, Teresa, but the kind of discharge he got excluded him from getting VA benefits for medical. I don't understand why. I don't know. It was something weird that they were doing when a bunch of them all got discharged. So that's kind of not available, which is a real big.
I wonder if that's when they cut back on the military, and a lot of people that were in there thinking they had, a job for life were suddenly out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Suddenly out and no benefits to go with them.
Unbelievable.
And
Unbelievable.
thank the Republicans for that. That was when the last president was in office, and he was too busy letting them chop everything to pieces. So, yeah, I mean, he's got Medicaid, which covers a lot, and he's got a supplement that goes with that that's supposed to cover what Medicaid doesn't. It still doesn't cover everything. And the doctor told us that at the hospital. He's like, just so you're aware, you're gonna get billed because it's not gonna cover everything. And so I was like, okay, thanks for letting us know, give me a heads up. And then that's when, when I shared it with a few people, the first thing everybody said was do a GoFundMe. Just get it started now, and then that way you can start putting money aside. So we're just sticking money in my savings account until the bills
So you get the bills start rolling in. And I think there's an awful lot to be said about the psychological benefit of knowing that people care.
It has made a huge difference to him.
Yep.
An absolute. He has been.
You could tell. You could tell when talking
floored.
to him, that
Last Saturday night, if you watched last week's show, the very beginning of the show, he came on and spoke for a few minutes before he went back and laid back down. And he's been just blown away by it. I mean, a friend of his who, is rock and roll singer, has his own band, and they're getting ready to get inducted into one of the music halls of fame. I don't know. They play like all over the world. They're pretty big. And
what are they called?
It's the
the Rolling Stones, right?
Yeah, don't I wish. Julian Thibodeau is the guy's name, and I think they just go by his name for the band. I don't think the band actually has.
I love that last name. It's so pretty.
Yeah, that was my birth name, Thibodeau. And,
no way.
Yeah. But he actually contacted Lois earlier this week and said, "Hey, I've been thinking, maybe we could do like a benefit concert."
Oh.
And Lois was just blown away by it because, he met this guy running sound at the club where he works when they came and played. And he just hit it off with the head guy, Julian. And when a few of their gigs where they've gone out of town, just somewhere nearby, he's called Lois up and said, "Hey, will you come run the sound for us? And you'll get paid too. You'll get, your share from what all the band members get." And they usually have him come on and play one or two songs with them as well, because he's also a musician. So he was supposed to be doing that today and tonight, because it was set up like weeks ago. And all week he was like, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. And I was like, no, you're not going to go. That's not. I don't feel good about this. And all the way up until this morning, and he got up this morning and he was like, no, I don't think I'm going to go. And I said, yeah, I told you. I said, it's too soon. I said, I understand you want to get back to it. You want to get back to work, get back to seeing the people you see, and the music that you like to be around. I get that. I said, but this is your life we're talking about.
Yeah.
I said, so it's going to take time, and you just got to go slow. And so it kind of sort of started sinking in, I think, a little bit over the last couple of days. And then this morning he was like, yeah, I think I'm not going to be doing that. And I'm like, thank God.
Well, there's a thing.
Yeah.
I forget what you call it, but people who have cardiac events,
Good night, Chris. And
they tend to have depression afterwards. It's like,
oh,
who
oh,
wouldn't, right?
it's yeah, because suddenly you're dealing with an issue that someone at 40 shouldn't be dealing with. I mean,
Mortality, yeah.
He just turned 40 in February. So,
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
And and he's in fairly good health, except for the gastro problems. He's not like overweight or any other issues really. So it's kind of an eye opener to suddenly get hit with that, and the fact that there's heart disease on both sides of his dad's family. There's people that have had heart disease and died from heart issues on my family tree going back. Same thing. I said, so it's in a way you almost couldn't help it happening. It's kind of on both sides of the family for you. So, yeah. So it's just going to take him time to get back into being normal again, I guess you could say. And so he tried to jump back in this weekend, and then last minute was like, yeah, no, I think
it's going to be an adjustment.
I better stay home. And I'm like, thank goodness. And I was certainly thanking the spirit overhead, saying thank you for getting it through his thick skull.
They haven't gotten him into some kind of cardiac rehab?
Not yet.
And it's not a place you go and stay. It's a program, and they
right. Yeah, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. So,
geez, what are they waiting for?
All of that's going to get set up once
with the doctor.
Get the doctors together and they decide what is the best course of action.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So we've spent the first 30 minutes talking about stuff, and
so do we have questions for the cards?
We do have some questions. So if y'all have a question, feel free to try to put it in caps so I can see it.
Well, they can't put it in Braille. So.
Yeah. Sorry, my finger doesn't work on the screen there. But I have a question from Suzanne and one from Judith. So in that order, so y'all know that
where they are. Yeah.
Where they are. And yeah, the doctor said for somebody to have a heart attack that the kind he had was probably the best kind to get, because most people walk away from it. They don't die. And where a lot of people have a heart attack, and that's it, they're done, and so yeah, we were lucky there. It's called an in-STEMI heart attack. Yeah. The heart can't get oxygen. So it's yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Bora Bora. I didn't know she said her sister passed away. When did your sister pass away? How long ago was that? Was it like a long time ago, or did it just happen? But yeah, so we're just taking it one day at a time, y'all. And
does she want a message from her sister?
She hasn't put anything in.
Well, I'm gonna do it anyway. I feel like I should. I've got the angels, the advice of the angels cards. I don't think that's quite the right name. The influence of the angels.
There we go. Okay. All right, well, let's pull a card on Bora Bora, and then after that we have Suzanne Grigsby, Judith Anderson, and Samantha is lined up, and I will try to...
The Two of Pentacles is about making choices, making real world choices. So apparently you're trying to decide something and your sister's fully aware of it. And the encouragement of the Six of Wands, that victory, that you will make the right choice. So whatever it is you're contemplating, you can move forward with the sense of security that you're on the right track. And your sister's watching you.
see what I got. Okay, I got the Lady of Lightning.
Oh, how cool. Oh my God, I love that
Isn't
card.
that pretty? And it
Yes.
says, surprises sometimes shock, total paradigm shift.
Oh,
All
it's a
right,
big
so
choice.
what do
Some,
they, let's see what they mean about that. Sometimes the keywords are completely different than what it actually says. So, okay, it's telling you to expect a sudden shift in circumstances. Um, that you could be getting pivotal flashes of insight, kind of those little aha moments to look for that. It says be prepared, change is imminent, and a total paradigm shift may be upon you. Don't resist the changes, as this kind of lightning isn't something you want to fight. Great things are happening when the Lady of Lightning appears. So I would take that, just my interpretation off of what that says and what the card is looking like is, it's hard. You lose your sister, but there was a reason why she went when she went. And so
mm,
this is going to provide you with more opportunities in some kind of way. It's either going to open up your senses a little bit more, which I feel very strongly that that's going to happen. And I just feel like it's like she's now in a position where she can reach out and provide help for you
yeah,
in a way that she couldn't before.
we travel kind of in packs, in soul families and groups, and relationships change from life to life. But oftentimes, people have an agreement. I'm going to go first, and then I'm going to be able to help you from the other side. It's a
Yeah,
decision.
it is. It is. I love this deck. This is the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms
Yeah, it's
from Colette
beautiful.
Colette Baron Reed. I really like her cards. I've
Does
got
she do her own artwork?
she has her newest deck that she just put out. I haven't even unwrapped it yet. It's still in plastic. Uh she did her own artwork on it, and that's what she was doing, some artwork, and in the course of doing these paintings, suddenly it just came to her, okay, these are for an oracle deck.
Cards, yeah, yeah.
And so that's when she started working on putting the deck
You
together.
blown
But
away by people's talent.
she's probably put out 15, 20 decks of cards, either by herself or with other people.
I can't imagine having that kind of artistic ability.
Me either.
I'm so impressed.
Like, well,
Yeah.
it certainly skipped me.
No
That didn't
comment.
come along in my life. So Cash Peters is Picasso next to my stick figures.
Yeah, I could barely write my own name.
I can't glue two things together and make it stay. I mean, it just don't work.
I saw the funniest show. I've only seen one thing of it, and it was really, really funny. It was about, how they have these baking contests, and people make these big elaborate, ridiculous things, cakes
I know. I
and
look at that and
stuff.
think,
I know. So there's another baking contest, and I forget what it's called, but the people are like, me? And they try to copy this great creation of a cake, and they end up with like a clump. So funny.
I went to the grocery store. I went to Walmart yesterday, and they had cake mix on sale. And I thought, oh, we haven't had cake in a while. So I bought a cake mix and some frosting. It's still in the cabinet. I keep thinking, do I want to get up and go make a cake?
It's a mix.
It's a mix, but it takes effort. You got to get. It's like I have to go buy eggs. I didn't realize I was out of eggs. So.
You can buy a cake at the store. You don't have
I
fully
know.
made and everything.
Yeah, but they've gotten so damn expensive. It's
Are
ridiculous.
they? Are they? Oh,
Last time I bought a sheet, like a regular little sheet cake for
yeah, yeah.
something coming up, and it was like $30.
What?
I was like $30 for
What?
that. I mean,
Oh God.
I can eat that in one day. You tell me I
Oh,
don't, but I could.
oh, oh,
I have no self control when it comes to cake,
oh, no, 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 no,
which
no.
is why I haven't baked it yet.
I
Okay, so Boris said, okay, her sister passed suddenly, and she was the
caregiver.
caregiver for mom,
Oh my God.
and now they're looking for emergency housing for my mom.
Oh, I'm so
And
sorry.
okay, y'all, that's your call. Everybody, put Bora and her family in your prayers that they find housing and it's everything is taken care of that needs to be taken care of. Yeah, it's
I wonder, is she
another reason.
elderly or is she also ill?
Her mom, she just passed
Yeah,
away.
yeah. Shame on us as a country. Just shame on us, the way.
I mean, yeah, I mean, not just from my son, but so many other people I see that
Yeah,
suddenly find themselves, because of a medical emergency,
yeah.
and now they're practically on the street, because they can't afford it. They can't, it's like, what are they supposed to do,
My husband and
And
I have an agreement. Whichever one of us collapses, the other one's going to leave the room for an hour. Just
I
let
gave my son,
let nature take its course.
I gave my son explicit directions. I said, okay, if they've got me plugged into machines to make my heart beat and my lungs breathe, pull the plug. If I'm meant to stay, I'll keep living. If not, it won't be a big expense to you.
Yeah, don't
He's
you
like,
just really hate to think that your last days are going to be draining them for decades?
yeah, I mean, uh, yeah, I mean, it just, yeah, I just can't. We went through that with my mom. We thought that she had life insurance, and she died. And when we went to go and put in to get the insurance, we discovered that it had been changed at some point, and instead of being a whole life, it had changed into a accidental death and dismemberment type policy.
Who changed
So
it?
the insurance company that held those policies
Can they do that?
changed. Well, she signed off on it
Oh, she signed it.
and
Oh,
didn't know that what she was signing.
yeah. Who knows? I don't know what any of
It
that
was in the
means.
middle. It was in
Yeah,
the middle of the dementia. It was at that
yeah.
stage when she was still trying to do things on her own, even though she was starting to really not
Don't think
understand.
they don't know what they're doing either when they do
Thank you.
stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So yeah, we found out the hard way that,
that's
oh my
awful.
God, there's no insurance to pay for this. What are we gonna do? It's
Yeah.
so yeah, it can be pretty damn scary. Um, okay, Bora, we got you in our prayers, darling. So just hang in there, keep us posted. Okay, next up I've got Suzanne, who would like to
Oh, that's
know.
so interesting.
That's a good question.
Suzanne, let me tell you something. Heart and Soul Connected, Allie Martin, has a show about dreaming, and she wants people to come watch, and it's a live show, and tell your dream, and then they try to interpret the dream.
Yeah,
That's a really interesting
yeah,
question.
exactly. Heart and soul connected. Helen was on with Allie earlier. So
I think that show is on Tuesdays. I don't know. It's
forget
all
what
a
night.
blur. Tuesday, I think. But
Yeah,
it's
I
pretty
don't.
easy to find it.
But I do like that question.
that too loud?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
It's not for me. Is it too loud for y'all? Most people like the sound of the card shuffling.
Well.
I do. Oh, how interesting. Oh, wow. Go ahead and go if you want to go.
Okay, so I got the Six of Cups, which is about remembering things of the past. Oh, no way.
Six of Cups.
Too funny, Six of Cups. In nostalgia. And I got the Chariot, which is about something barreling down on you. I think, well, here, let me do it this way. The Sword of Truth, the Ace of Swords. And then the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is bringing something material slowly but surely, like help, you know? So I think there's a very good chance that what you're having is not really a dream as much as it's a recovered memory from, which you do in dreams, from a past life. That's where all the good stuff happens, is when you're asleep. You know, your subconscious, your soul is working and traveling and reliving, and pay attention. Keep a dream diary. Yeah.
Absolutely. Let me see. Well, Six of Chalices, the Six of Cups. So, and of course, what are they? They're all in a big pool of water.
Oh, that's so funny. I didn't even think about that. You're right.
They're all in a big pool, in an enclosed room in a pool of water. So, if you take away the fact that this is a good card, you know,
It's a memory. Yeah.
But it's still a memory of people being stuck in a room full of water. And then I pull the King of Staffs, which is Joseph, Jesus' earthbound dad. And what did he do? He took care of that which was not his. And he raised Jesus as his own. There's a great Christmas song that I can't think of her name right now, that she sang years and years ago. But the song talks about the fact that he was the dad. Oh, I froze on camera. Okay. Talks about that he did the job that most men would not have done if their wife had come to them and said, I'm pregnant, and an angel came and told me it's the Son of God. Now, how many men you think are going to buy that one, right? You'd be like, yeah, right, honey, sure, bye. But no, he stuck by.
Unless you're Donald Trump and you think you're God.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, so he was responsible and proceeded to be there to help his wife in a situation that most people would have walked away from. And so I think that kind of really relates to the fact that you may very well have been on the Carpathia and was part of the crew, or just part of the people that were on
rescue,
that were there to take care of the folks as they came in. And then I finished with the devil. So I'm trying to figure out how that ties in, other than just the fact that it was
a horrible situation.
Such a bad time. Yeah, really. That's the only thing I can think of why this would come up, is just that the situation itself was so horrific and devilish.
Well, you know what it brings to mind? I'll tell you what my mother used to always say, because, you know, we're Irish. My mother used to say, the Titanic sank because when they made it in the shipyards in Northern Ireland, in Belfast, my hometown, they every time they put in a rivet, they cursed the Pope. And it ended up cursing the Titanic. So maybe that's what the devil means. A little message from my
Oh,
mother.
well, that's an interesting piece of
Yeah,
information I never knew.
yeah. That's what they believe in Ireland. You know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's quite interesting. Well, Suzanne, I hope that helps. I mean, I'm getting the strong feeling that yeah, you were there,
Mm-hmm.
and you were either part of the crew, or you were one of the passengers who offered to help take care of people, because it wasn't just rescuing them off the little dingy boats they were in, but then it was making sure they had food to eat and something warm to wear, and a lot of people were in their pajamas at that point,
Yeah. Yeah.
with a coat thrown around them. So, and it was freezing ass cold. I mean,
I wonder
was
if
it
you ever
early
thought about.
April?
Yeah, April 19th. I wonder if you ever, or the 12th. Doesn't matter.
Something like that.
Yeah, I wonder if you ever thought about getting a regression, past life, regression.
There we go. Have you
Wouldn't
thought
that be
about having
interesting?
that done? Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of who does that. Um, Now I know Val, Dragonfly Crystals, and Next Level Channeling. She does the Akashic records, where she can go in and has the ability to kind of like go in and look at the past,
Yeah.
and be able to tell you what's in your Akashic records. So there may be something that if you're having dreams or feelings about this now, maybe there was something that wasn't completed then that needs to be dealt with and kind of
Yeah.
done away with. It's been done.
Unresolved. Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, but very interesting. That's a very interesting question.
I'm a little uncomfortable about the notion of somebody looking at my Akashic records. It's kind of like, my rap sheet.
Well, she did a reading for me, and it was absolutely astounding. um I mean, she didn't like delve into maybe things that I wouldn't have want talked about or something, but
Right.
she was able to pull up stuff that wasn't even anything to do with me, but it was something that happened in the past in another
Yeah.
life,
Yeah.
and then we were able to clear it here.
Well,
So
Deborah Lupien does the same thing.
she
The
does the
one.
same thing.
Yeah, she reads the Akashic records and can tell you all kinds of weird, interesting stuff. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I did. I've always found it fascinating. I just don't know
Excuse
how to
me.
do it. I haven't learned that yet. So, okay, Judith, you're up next.
Okay.
A positive reading from my angels for July.
Okay.
Don't look at my mess.
What am I not supposed to look at?
The mess. Hopefully nobody could really see it. I needed the other deck. I very clearly heard wrong cards.
No.
Damn it. Gotta get up and get another deck of cards out. Before I'll know it, I'll have half of my decks out of here. But I needed angel cards, so.
That's what I'm using, yeah.
So, if you're ready, go ahead and go.
Oh, okay. So the impression I get, Judith, is that there's been something going on. The Nine of Swords. This is like, issues, problems, pain, suffering. And that July is your opportunity to just take a step back, reevaluate, start thinking about the reasons behind the issues rather than just trying to fend off blows. Try to figure out what the source of the issue is and start focusing more on actions you can take in the future to make things a little easier for yourself. And that will be successful for you. And enjoy your family, the Ten of Pentacles. Enjoy the gifts of connection in your family, the generational, I don't know how to say this, like the joy, the pleasure that you can take from interacting with extended members of your family. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you're going to have some kind of a family get together or something in July. That almost seems like cheating. It's July. Everybody has, get togethers. Okay.
True. From the Angels and Auras or Oracle deck, I pulled career transition.
Oh.
And it talks about change, excitement, opportunity, advancement. What it's talking about in here is it says new opportunities are about to present themselves, and it's a great time for you to consider what's next in your career. Line up your options, and when your heart leaps with joy, go there. Um, so it could be maybe an upgrade in your job. Maybe you're going to get a promotion or get a new position. That happens. Um, or maybe another job altogether. Maybe you're considering retirement, in which case now might be a good time to go ahead and make that step and go in that direction. Um, but mainly it's talking about just really follow your heart, what makes you feel like it's right. And then it says uh, to use color for color activation of orange and green. It says the color orange is balancing your energy during a moment of potential change, and green energy is allowing you to be open to all opportunities that may present themselves. So, very interesting. And that's what you're getting here is you're getting, like, she's in a green suit with an orange briefcase. So, that's kind of cool. This is a fairly new deck. I'm still learning how to read with it.
I almost feel like that person walking away is some pain in the neck you work with. You'd be happy to see go.
Yeah, it's bye. Don't let the door hit you.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Isn't it true that there's always somebody when you work. There's always somebody, right? Who's a pain? Oh, are you the pain at work?
Wouldn't that be? Maybe it's you. Yeah. God forbid.
That's why I work alone. Oh, sure.
Samantha would like a card or two, if possible. Absolutely.
These are the Universal Celtic Tarot.
Oh, I got that deck. That's a cool deck.
This is the same artist who did Nate's Mystical Tarot of the Saints. Oh. Okay, I got the Ten of Pentacles, which is about, it could be about generational money. It can be about connections between generations, interactions with generations. And I got the Nine of Pentacles. Coming into money? I don't know. Somebody leave you something in their will? This is so interesting. I don't often see this many pentacles together. However, I got the Moon. So be careful. Be careful about who you trust. Make sure you have the full story. There may be stuff that you haven't been told. Things you need to know that you haven't been told. But how interesting is that? All these pentacles. I really like the artwork on these cards. Look at how beautiful that is. It's the Moon.
That's gorgeous. Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful? Yeah.
Okay, well, I pulled from The Universe Has Your Back. It says, when I lean toward love, I am led. So start there, lean towards love, so that you can kind of get headed in the right direction. And then from the Hidden Realms, I pulled the word Lord. And basically, what it's talking about here is that uh, when you get this card, it's talking about um, you're open. You're open to abundance and praise. When you bless others, it blesses you back. And so when you say affirming, supportive words, they carry an energy that returns back to you in physical form. So as you do for others and pray for others and um, speak uplifting words to others, that goes out and then it's going to come back. And it's going to come back even stronger for you. So I feel like it's just telling you to just take a look around you and everything you see that's good in your world, everything you see that makes you feel like you're on the right track. Speak it aloud, be thankful for it, and then watch it come back at you tenfold.
Well,
Spirit's
what
gonna
is
do
that?
that.
Do unto others as you would have others do unto you.
Doing it
Yeah,
basically, yeah.
yeah.
That's pretty much it. Okay, let's see here. Tim had a question. Do the spirits tell us that we should become spiritual warriors to fight the expanding darkness? Just off the top of my head, I'm hearing, well, of course.
Yeah, oh my God, I was going to say exactly the same thing, Tim. And that's kind of a given, you know? That's why we're here. It's the mandate, the universal, not the Seven Mountain mandate. That's the other guys. That's the right wing mandate. No, it's our duty, it's our obligation to speak out for the right, whatever that might be, for the vulnerable, for the needy, for the poor, for the sick, for democracy, for the environment. That's our obligation. And we're here at this difficult time because of all the souls. We have the strength to do something about it. So we have to rise to the occasion. That's it. It's an obligation. Let's see what the cards say.
Okay, well, I pulled for you the Ace of Chalices or the Ace of Cups. And it's saying that this exudes emotional. Oh, everybody saw me jump.
Put her downstairs. I saw she scared the liver out of me. Okay, come on. Come on. Downstairs.
I wasn't expecting
Go downstairs.
that. Wow.
Get out
Okay. This is a good thing I didn't have a bathroom accident. Okay.
All right.
Gotta love pets, right? Oh my goodness.
Marvin?
Okay, this cup also signifies a fresh romantic beginning. So if you're not already in a relationship, this may mean that somebody new is going to show up and will show an interest. Financially, it says that you may have some money coming your way. So maybe keep an eye out for that. Basically, what it's talking about is this is it's full of emotional positivity, full of comfort. It's a new beginning. So I think in lieu of your question, what this is telling us is that as we prepare ourselves to fight off the dark, we need to draw in the power of the truth and the power of we need to hold our emotions up to the point, because chalices, that's cups, that's water, that's emotion. So with a fresh start, a new beginning, you're looking at somebody that you need to come at it with a fresh perspective, and you need to be prepared to know that as you're taking on this fight, that it's going to be your willingness to rely on spirit that's going to help you battle it out. And so they need people that are willing to be emotionally involved and willing to get down in the trenches, so to speak.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm getting.
Sorry about that. My neighbor's
okay.
dog, the gun guy. I have a neighbor across the street who has a gun shop in his living room. He's a gunsmith. So he makes, repairs, and sells guns from his living room. And he's got 2 gigantic German shepherds. And it's really, it kind of reminds me of National Lampoon, Randy Quaid, the cousin who comes in the RV. It's kind of like that. Okay, so let's get down to business here. The 9 of Wands. Much is required of us to defend what we need to defend. And we have to be patient and steadfast. We have to stick with it and not give up. We have to plod along, the 9 of Pentacles. And this is the goal, the star. Isn't that beautiful? Look, Sherry. Isn't that beautiful?
I like that, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, what she said. Absolutely. No. There. What she said.
Remember, point in the opposite direction.
Spatial relationships are not my strong point.
All right, so Jim, I hope that was helpful. Next up, we have Maureen Demico, who wants to know if she has a past life. We all have past lives. And I'm not just being flip when I say that. When we're in spirit form, we ask to come back here. Why the hell we do that, I do not know. Because if I had an option to go somewhere nicer, I think I would take that. But we're all gluttons for punishment, I guess. And so we all ask to come back here because there's work to be done here.
This place is where your soul can make the greatest progress, can evolve the fastest, the highest, and as a result, it's the hardest. But we volunteer. You know what? Maureen, ask yourself this. Have you ever met somebody, a stranger, and you have an instant connection? Have you ever been someplace and you feel like it resonates with you? You've had a past life. That's recognition, yeah.
Lorraine said she spilled her coffee and almost peed in her pants.
When?
When the dog barked.
Oh, so sorry. How do you think I feel? She's right here.
Hi, Pat. Good night, Pat. I didn't even realize Pat was in the chat. Okay, wow. I pulled for you, Maureen. Says blessing in disguise. It said we've all got past lives. We've got a reason why we're here and why we choose to come back. There's significance in our choice of coming back, because there's stuff that not only to improve our soul and our growth, but there are others here that need us here to help them grow and progress. And hopefully we're able to make that connection and help others along the way. I know that sounds very esoteric, but basically that's what we're here to do, is
that makes sense.
To help others, that's kind of our job, is to come back and as we learn, we teach others, and as we move up, we reach behind us and pull others up to join us. That's part of what we're here to do.
You're reading my cards. So the
Not
two of swords.
intentionally.
The two of swords. This is a choice. Like she said, it's a choice. And what are we doing? We're here to help others. The Six of Pentacles. You know, it's a give and take. We learn from the other people. They learn from us. Sometimes people come to make our lives difficult because those problems, those challenges are a lesson. And then ultimately, the Six of Cups, this is fond memories of the past, nostalgia for past lives, you know. So, yes, you had a past life.
Most definitely. Okay, Maureen, I hope that helped. Next up, we got Three Shifting Veils. I love that name. It's just the coolest name. Why do I keep hearing a rattle near my right ear late at night? You don't have any snakes in your house, do you?
I was just going to say, you don't live in Southern California, do you? Rattlesnake. Stop reading my mind.
I'll try.
Rattle. Well, let's see what if the cards say.
Yeah.
That's a stupid dog across the street. Huh.
Okay. Yeah, wow, these don't make any sense.
I have some cards. Jolly.
Okay, go ahead and go.
Okay. So you
I'm
get the Four of
decipher.
Swords, but this particular deck is called the, can never remember, the Influence of the Angels. Look at this. This is, you're talking about your little rattle. It's like whispering in your ear. It's a message of some sort. And I get the Queen of Swords. Swords are about truth. Swords are about laws that are just. They're about intelligence. So if you're hearing something trying to get your attention, trying to make you pay attention to something around you, like, hey, like a signal or an alarm. But I get Temperance, which speaks about balance. Is this telling you maybe you need to reevaluate self-care? Maybe you need, I don't know, maybe you need to be getting more sleep, you know? So when you hear that sound, ask yourself, what is it that I could be getting a message about? I think it is a message. I think it's trying to get your attention. So it's up to you to decide attention for what? To pay attention to what? Maybe it's a signal that you need to do like more meditation or something, that they want you to connect with them. And when you're almost asleep is when you're the most receptive.
Vulnerable.
To those sorts of messages.
All right, well, we're starting out with the Three of Chalices. So we're looking at this maybe because maybe they're trying to get your attention that there's either a friend or a family member, somebody that you need to check up on or check in with to make sure they're okay. That's kind of what I'm getting on this. And then the Emperor, which is St. Louis. That's hilarious. You know, the Emperor is authority, kind of the leadership figure, a father figure, maybe a mother figure, you know, either one. Followed by the Knight of, what's that? The Knight of Swords. So you're looking at, this is a fairly fast card. This is like one of the fastest cards, I believe, in the deck, is the Knight of Swords, because he's on a horse that's revved up and ready to go. I mean, you could tell they're kind of flying along. His cape's flying out behind him like Superman. They're trying to get you to focus on something, and I think it goes back to the friend or the family member. There's something that you're aware of but maybe haven't really paid that much attention to, that it's trying to get your attention and say, okay, you need to do more than just think about it casually every now and again. You need to delve into this and figure out what's going on and what do you need to do to help. That's what I'm hearing.
So we both kind of got that it's an attempt to get attention at a time when you're probably the most receptive. You don't have the distractions of the daytime that interfere. Exactly. Yeah, and I feel like it's a kind of a plea for communication. So try to do more spending time quietly alone or meditating and give them the opportunity to get the message across.
Exactly. And I keep coming back to that family or friend, whoever it is.
Yeah.
It's somebody that you're aware is in need, but you need to take it a step further and look into what it is that can be done to help. And this is just Spirit's way of kind of reminding you every night, hey, you haven't taken care of this issue yet, so
pay attention.
And like Helen says, that's the most vulnerable time, is when we're going to sleep, because all of our guards are coming down, we're relaxing, we're so I would strongly suggest meditation, alone time, quiet time.
Just trying to get your attention.
Yeah. They're just trying to, like, somebody going, yay, over here. So I hope that helps, my dear. Next up, we got Jamie.
Okay.
Who would like to know if her guides have any
messages
for her. Okay, well, the first card on both of you, Jamie, says the key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. So it's like when you go to pray, it's not your wishing well or your my wish is my command kind of place. It's forget about all the things that you want and need. Instead, use that time to focus on what others may want or need, is what I'm feeling it's saying. And then I pulled be the real you. And be joyful for that. Don't keep yourself hidden in another suit that you're wearing, I mean, we all tend to live very compartmentalized lives. You have your work persona, your home persona, when you're hanging out with friends, And what this card is saying is, look at all the different masks that you wear every day, and then find the true you. And that's what you put out there. I think that's what they're wanting you to know, is to be the real you. There's nobody you have to impress. So you don't need to worry about it. Yeah.
Weird cards. Really weird cards. So I got this weird combination of things and emotions, actions and emotions, and stuff that's just taking up your time and your attention and your energy. So I got the 10 of Wands, where you just can't decide. You have so much to do. You can't even figure out what it is. See how he's blindfolded, wandering around. The wands are about action. So you have so many things that you need, making demands on you to accomplish. But then you all, wait to see this card. 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups is about so many choices of emotion. So you don't even know how to feel. You're not sure what your dreams are, what your hopes are. So you're torn between the realities of the demands on your time and decisions you have to make. What you would do if you had the chance to just decide your own emotions. But you're constrained, and look at he's also blindfolded, which I think is so interesting. The 4 of Pentacles, sort of constrained by the limitations of the material world to sort of integrate all the demands on you and your own internal desires and fantasies. But the advice is, pick one. Pick one emotion that matters the most to you and leave the others for another time. Knight of Wands, pick an action and do the action. So that the advice in these cards is to take a step back from all this anxiety and noise and distraction and stuff. Focus on what is the most important thing to you emotionally. Focus on the thing that demands your time the most right now. Don't worry about all that other stuff. The things demanding your time, the emotions that occupy your time. Focus on the one most important thing and deal with that first. You know, a lot of times we get overwhelmed. There's so much stuff going on, and you get kind of paralyzed in place because you can't, it's too much here. It's like a sensory overload, you know. Yeah. And the advice here is, let the noise go away. Just pick something and do it, and forget about that other stuff. Pick something emotional, a dream, a feeling that matters the most to you, and follow that. And forget all the other stuff for a while. Yeah. And that way you're not so overwhelmed.
All right. Well, Jamie, I hope that resonated with you.
Yeah, I hope that made some sense.
Okay. And T-Lyn is up next. I'd like to know, who are my guides?
Oh. That's really interesting.
That is interesting. You're trying to think of.
Shall I go?
Yeah, go ahead and go.
So I got the Emperor, Temperance, and the Chariot. And if you look at the pictures here, I think as much as the cards represent certain ideas for everybody, I think when you've got a deck this unique, you have to look at the message in the artwork. And what do you see here? You see 3 different kinds of angels. I think that's significant. And the message here is the Wheel of Fortune. Your guides are, look at the angels here too on all 4 corners. Your guides change as the circumstances of your life change. They come and they go. You always have a guardian angel, but certain kinds of angels come to help with certain kinds of issues. There are spirit beings who are appropriate for the moment. I think also there are souls, like relatives and friends, who are attached to you and want to help you. And that's what we get here with the 4 of Wands. This sort of celebratory sense of communication and cooperation with people, love, and the 4 of Wands represents, I'm tortured here trying to get the right words. All I can think of is institutions, and it does mean that, but I don't think that's quite the right interpretation of it for these cards. Not necessarily institutions, but lifelong associations, I guess I would say. So familial ties, friendship ties, they hover about and they protect you and they celebrate with you and they support you. And it depends on that Wheel of Fortune, you know, that cycle of life, the good times and the bad. Each time a new problem or incident or challenge appears, you have the appropriate guides around you to help you. And the little sparkles that you saw, that's just, you know, it's all that good energy, you know.
Absolutely. Well, I started out with the Lovers. So, whether if it's an actual romantic love or something else, um, I'm just picking up that they want you to know that they're in a partnership with you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very intimate relationship. Um, I don't pick up any names, so it may not
No.
be for me to know. That's something that you'll, ask them, well, what is your name? Who are you? What exactly do you want me to do? And then give yourself time to reflect, meditate, whatever, so that you can hear that answer. Because then I pull the 8 of Staffs. And so, we're kind of looking at staffs or wands, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're looking at, they're letting you know that there's some changes coming up. That's what I'm feeling. Like there's just kind of get prepared a little bit for some, I don't see anything major change, but just kind of a minor, some stuff is going to shift around for you. And so you've got somebody that is there close to you, whether if it's a friend, a husband, a wife, a co-worker, whatever, somebody's there that's going to kind of have your back and they're going to be able to help you deal with this change, because then it ends up with the Knight of Swords. And like I said, this is like one of the fastest cards in the deck. So when it happens, it's going to happen. Boom, snap. It's going to be fast. So as far as who they are, like I said, I don't pick up any names. I don't know the names of my guides. They just laughed and said, "You can't pronounce it." It's like, okay, thanks. So, I would simply ask them to tell you, who are you? What is your name? Where do you come from? Are you an angel? Are you an ET? Are you someone from my past that is come back to help guide me? And yeah, when you're seeing orbs everywhere, then that's, they're trying to make communication there. They're trying to show themselves. Um, there's nothing more unique than to have that all around you, that you see them right there coming around you. Because that very well could be just your angels and your guides, the orbs that you're seeing. That's what they're telling me. That, yeah, we're just showing you we're here. We're all around you. We're here to help you. Just reach out and let us know. You can ask them what their name is. What are you, an angel? Are you this? Are you that? They may tell you, and they may tell you it doesn't matter. It's not important. I think with a lot of them, they really don't care. It's not important to them. They don't want you to focus in on who they are as much as what the messages are trying to get you to see. I think that's more the emphasis than anything else. It's just, they're showing you with the orbs that, yeah, we're right here. We haven't gone anywhere. Focus on that, and then focus on what it is you think they want you to do. And again, you ask, and they'll tell you. They're not known to play peekaboo with that information. It's like if you're asking them to give you some info, pretty much they're going to give it to you.
Well, I think it's important that you acknowledge that they're there. Maybe they're trying to get your attention, to get you to give them some time and quiet and space to communicate with you. I think it's reassurance. I don't know who my guides are. I know that what's really important, other than curiosity, what's really important is not who they are. It's that they are, that they exist, and that you always have that protection and guidance around you. You can tap into it. They're trying to get your attention, so acknowledge that they are there and try to allow them some quiet to be able to communicate with you. The fact that you could see the orbs and stuff, that's very cool.
Yeah, that's really not a lot of people could see that, or they don't see it in real time. If somebody's filming something, they'll see it then.
Yeah.
Because you'll see them dancing across the video screen. But when it's just you just kind of hanging out, doing whatever, that's just their way of letting you know that they're all around you. They're there to help you.
It's reassurance, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's really positive. So I hope that helps. T-Lin, let's see. We've got Krista K.
Your daughter, okay.
Any guidance for me connecting with my daughter? Let's see what we get here. You do it. Okay.
Shall I go?
Yeah, go ahead and go.
Okay, so I got some interesting cards here. I hope this is not disturbing for you. I'm not implying anything. This is just the cards I got, so I can only interpret them. I get the sense of somebody trying to get away with something, probably about something material, money, could be about power too, and some sort of dishonesty or deception, the moon. I got that, yes, you should take the initiative, reach out, and sooner rather than later, that you'll be able to achieve a new balance reestablish a balance in the relationship. And the stars are very positive. So it starts out with this kind of unhappy backstory, but taking the initiative to reach out with love may help to reestablish a give and take, and you'll be doing something for your soul. It's hard to be the one to reach out. It's really hard.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the first card I pulled for you was the Empress.
Oh,
so that's
St.
somebody
Helen.
very yeah, St. Helen.
St.
That's
Helen.
right. That's that's somebody that's very nurturing, very loving, very caring. I feel like that's kind of you, of how you feel towards your daughter.
Yeah.
You want that relationship restored. And then I pulled the Ten of Chalices, which again shows the whole family together. So I think there's a really strong possibility that you're going to be able to reconnect. It won't be on the same level as it was before. Whatever it is, it kind of, splits y'all apart.
Yeah, there's a lack of trust there. There's having to fix trust. Yeah.
And then I pulled The Universe Got Your Back. And it says, my vibes speak louder than any words.
Read that card, though.
We can all talk a really good game, but it's being able to open up and get that message to come in. There you go.
See, that's the thing. Relationships are so hard. Family relationships with your children can be even the hardest. And it takes a big person, I don't mean size, a person of great strength to be the first one to reach out. That's very hard to do. But there's great reward that comes from that. Did you fall asleep?
Nope.
Nah.
Okay.
I'm
sitting there. I'm looking at the next question, trying to. The next two questions.
Two more.
We're
falling behind here, Sherry. Get to work.
We're falling behind here. Okay. Next up, we got Marby.
We will certainly try.
A message from her guides. Hopefully they'll be clearer this go round.
I think your guides
have been very shrouded tonight or something. It's like nothing.
I think her guides are telling her that she needs to come to my house and weed my garden for me. I think your guides really want you to do that.
I'm kidding. No, they definitely want you to come clean my house.
Oh, there you go. See?
I know you do that. It's like,
who, me or Marby?
Marby. It's like, yeah, I wish you were close enough. I would pay you to come clean my house.
Oh, this is so funny. What you just said. What?
Is I woke up this morning and my brother's in the kitchen and I'm like, oh, what you making? Nothing. I'm just cleaning up. And I went in there and he's like wiping everything down, putting dirty dishes in the dishwasher and everything. I'm like, okay, what alternate universe did I just wake up in this morning?
No, Sherry, the question is, what does he want?
Yeah.
Okay, you got to see
That's
this.
probably coming, yeah.
What did I say? Marby, your guides want you to take action. The Ace of Wands. I think the message is there's something that you should be doing that you're uncertain about it, or you haven't made up your mind yet, or you've been putting it off, and it's time to take action. And the Page of Pentacles. Remember, you said you'd pay her. Go clean Sherry's house, and she will pay you. No, there's action that requires your attention, but there is a reward of some sort as a result of it. And the Queen of Swords, this is you. See this little angel here telling you that's your guide. The Queen of Swords is somebody who has an element of leadership, an element of honesty, a truth speaker, somebody who's clear-headed and understands the situation. So trust yourself, trust your instincts, trust your evaluation of the situation. Get it done, because there's a reward, and I'm not implying that it's money, but there's some sort of a give and take. You do what you need to do that's been hanging over you. You're on the right track. Go do it, and there's a reward at the end of it. It may just be, oh, look, my house is clean. I feel so good.
We're waking up and going, what alternate universe did I just wake up in?
That's hilarious. Send them to my house.
If it wasn't on the other side of the country, yeah, I would.
We have lived in this house for over 40 years, and I don't change anything because I'm a Taurus. My husband still doesn't know where the dishes go in the cabinet. I just don't understand it.
It's like, okay, y'all know what cabinet to look in to get a dish out, but you can't remember where to put them back in at.
Right.
I don't get that.
Right.
There's a disconnect there somewhere.
Yeah, it's passive
The first
aggressive.
thing I pulled for you, Marby, was the Keeper of the Scales, fairness and balance. So that's the first thing your messages are saying. Your guides are saying, is to find some fairness and balance in your life, to try to keep things on an even keel there. And then I pulled self-respect and worthiness. You are worth respect, not just from yourself, but from those around you. And it's hard for those around you to give you respect if you don't respect yourself. And so that's an important thing. And then I pull from the Universe Has Your Back. It says, obstacles are detours in the right direction. There we go. So anytime you get an obstacle that comes along and kind of throws you off, it's because you need to be redirected in the right direction. So go with it. Go with that obstacle. Follow it where it's taking you. And while you're doing it, keep that self-respect for yourself and keep things in balance. And you got it. I think that's what I'm.
And I'm getting boundaries. Something about boundaries.
That would be part of the balance. Yeah, balancing.
Be clear. Yeah.
You have to have clear boundaries. Yeah. Okay. Helena.
Helena, I love your name.
Isn't that a great name?
You don't hear the name Helena. You don't hear that very often. It was more popular like 100 years ago.
Like you're 100.
Well, no, I mean, when my parents named me, it was a compromise. They were naming me after 3 or 4 different female relatives on both sides of the family. There were Ellens and Eleanors, and they didn't want to offend anybody, so they compromised on Helen. It was a political decision. How appropriate, right?
Well, that would explain a lot.
Yeah, but it is not a real common name even now. It's more popular now than it was 30 years ago. But I was never, I mean, I was the only Helen ever in any of my classes ever the entire time I was growing up.
Wow,
And
really?
yeah, and I have about 25 friends named Sue, Susie, Susan, Suzanne.
I had a couple of Helens during school that I knew.
Did you?
Yeah. I
Now,
actually had a Helena.
okay.
Was that in
Let's see what the
middle
guides say
school
here.
or high school? There was a Helena that I knew. She was in one of my classes. It's like I knew her, but we didn't like hang out or anything.
Oh, this is a good message. You want to go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yeah.
So the message is there's an opportunity coming up, and it's an opportunity that has to do with maybe a wish or an emotion or something emotional. I'm not going to say necessarily, a love interest. I don't, I think that's a little too specific, but maybe something you've been dying to do, something you've been yearning to be involved in, some kind of a choice that's an opportunity moving forward for maybe a creative opportunity, a project like that. And the advice is the Knight of Wands. Take action. Act on that. And it's going to give you the opportunity for a number of different activities. And the sun is a validation. The sun is a promise of a positive outcome. So there's some sort of, I want to say creative. I keep thinking creative. There's some sort of opportunity for you to avail yourself of creative abilities or get involved in something creative that you should follow. Go ahead and do that. You've been wondering if you should. Go ahead and do it because it will lead to other opportunities that you can do, and it's going to be a very positive outcome in the end. So I'm thinking, I mean, I'm saying this because this is something that I actually went through, but this is an example to give you an idea. I decided to learn how to knit and just went for it. And it turned into an opportunity to make dog sweaters and trade them at the groomers for grooming my dogs. So I didn't have to pay. I just would knit a dog sweater and, do that trade. And it was a very positive thing. That's the kind of situation I'm implying. There's some sort of thing that you're debating. I don't know, should I, shouldn't I? Go for it, because it might evolve into something really good.
There you go. The Fire Prince. It says optimism and aggression. So aggressively go after some of the things that you want. Yeah, there you go. Lining right up.
And look, and the sun,
Followed
the Fire
by
Prince.
Perfect timing with the sun and the moon.
Oh, wow.
So everything's in its perfect timing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Followed by my fearless freedom lights up the world. And again, it's the sun. Yeah.
Yep. That's kind of a cool message.
It's very positive. I mean,
and it doesn't have to be knitting. That was just kind of a little example. It could be anything. Yeah.
I'd be shit out of luck if it depended on me having to knit.
Well, you can't go. It's hard to go wrong with
the needle of any kind.
It's hard to go wrong with a dog sweater because no matter how weird it turns out, it'll fit some dog. It's just kind of fun.
Okay, Andrea, put your question in again, darling, and we'll take it right after we do our last one here.
Can Can you hear
And
that
then we'll do
stupid
yours.
dog barking? That's not my dog.
Yeah, can hear
That's
it.
what my dogs were barking at. It's the neighbor's dog. If your
Yeah.
dog was barking that long, wouldn't you do something about it?
Well, I definitely would go out and find out what's going
Yeah.
on,
Yeah. It's so annoying. Not till I gotta hear what my guys want me to know for this summer and fall.
Hey Joe. Um
You mean like too late in the summer? No, it's early in the summer. You don't mean too late at night?
no, I think they're worried that they already hit the cutoff time. And
Oh, oh, oh,
actually it
oh,
was
oh,
right
oh.
after I started that one that I was like, okay, questions closed.
Okay, well, I'm glad you
We
got
had
in under
quite
the
a few.
wire.
And evidently I missed one from like way back in the beginning that I didn't
Oh,
Andrea. Several people have all put in the chat. Can you answer Andrea's question?
oh, and I just hope people
Way
know
back in the beginning, and I just didn't see it.
I
So
can't see any of the questions because I'm on an iPad mini and I don't know how to live in the 21st century. So.
I got you,
Okay.
Andrea. You'll be next. You'll be our last one.
Okay, for the summer and fall. These cards, I haven't used this deck of cards before, and they're so pretty. But I don't recognize them. I have to study them. Okay, I'm gonna go, Joe. I think looking at these cards, because I think it's always significant to look at the artwork, it means something. I get the feeling that this is like the fall, right? There's some sort of choice of action coming in the near future. This is the Two of Wands, that it's going to present itself to you. And it has to do with you taking a decision about something emotional, a family connection of some sort, but you have to be in the front of this situation. You have to be maybe the model of the right kind of compassion to show, or leadership. The Six of Cups. So this is definitely about family and family emotions and family relationships, and you taking the forefront, being in the forefront of this decision-making situation having to do with families. And then the King of Wands, which is even more of a leadership position, taking the action, being the one to show the way. You're kind of a visionary in this situation. So you have the insight that the rest of the family doesn't have. And by the time you get to the winter, you will have proven, because of your leadership in this situation, that you have a certain knowing, moral compass, inner knowledge. This is the Hierophant, I'm sorry. So you can be the guiding light. You can take the action, be the leader, show the way to your family. Whatever this decision is, and I don't know what it is, but you do. Okay. I hope that helps.
Absolutely.
Have faith in yourself. Yeah.
Very much so. Hey, the first thing I do for you is everything's okay. Chill out. It's all right. Everything's going to be okay. That's the first thing they want you to know. You're obsessing over something. Let it go. It doesn't matter. You're going to be okay. And then I got the High Lord of Gratitude and Service. Look at the face on that. That is one happy guru, man, monk, whatever. He's happy though. Why is he happy? Because he's clothed himself with humility, and he worries about others and what's going to happen to them as opposed to himself. He is not what's important. And then I pulled, and y'all watch me shuffle these cards. Obstacles or detours in the right direction. So again, this is Spirit telling you just go with the flow. Whichever way we lead it, just flow right along, go with the flow. And I think they just want you to know that everything's okay. Just keep stroking. You got it.
I get the strong feeling that you are the guiding light in your family. You're the one everyone looks to for decision making and how to feel, what to do. You're really the one, but that's because you are the one. You are somebody with a knowing and a vision, and you're going to be able to show that some choice that you make, that the whole family kind of goes along with, by the end of the fall, going into the winter, you're going to be proven right.
Very good. All right. Keep shuffling here, Sherry.
Did you find that question that she was,
Yeah.
Andrea? No.
The universe has your back. I pulled the card that the deck's named after. So, yeah, you're good to go. Okay, last one. Andrea's question. Father Hector.
Oh, baby. Oh. Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm so sorry. It's so hard.
It's hard enough to be homeless when you're two adults together. I've been there, done that. I can't imagine how difficult it is with a child under, that needs you to provide for them.
Okay, I got a message here. You're in a stuck situation, the Hanged Man, where you're constantly having to evaluate how to rob Peter to pay Paul. Am I going to buy food or am I going to pay for this? It's one of those situations, and constantly feeling like you're reevaluating this battle that you're in, and it's not getting better, and it's not getting better, and you feel like you're stuck in the situation. And you get the Eight of Swords, which is feeling overwhelmed, feeling attacked, from the outside. Just, why are you in this situation? And the message is a good message. The Seven of Cups. You have control over how you feel about this and how you move forward to fix it. The Seven of Cups is about choices of emotions. It can be about fantasy, but that's not in this situation. It's about deciding, okay, am I going to let this overwhelm me? and be depressed? Or am I going to feel hopeless? Or am I going to be fearful? Or am I going to use this as an opportunity to evolve my ability to cope with the obstacles that life puts in my path? This is the purpose of this, is to help you to evolve and develop your judgment about situations, help you to find temperance, balance in life. And so I'm sure you're thinking, so what? That's great. This is just really difficult. The core lesson is you have the wisdom within you. Look within yourself. You have a guiding light of wisdom inside of you. You have the divine feminine strength inside of you, and you can do this. The message from your father is you can do it. You will be okay because you have inner wisdom, inner strength. Have faith in yourself moving forward. And I'm sorry you're going through this. This is very hard.
Yeah, it is. It's again, it's another situation where that should not be happening in this country.
It makes me
The
so
amount
angry.
of money that the people that a handful of uh, a handful of individuals have that could outfit every person in this country. You know, a house, a car, food, bills paid, clothes, the whole. I mean,
Every
to be
child should have
comfortable.
their own bed.
Right. I mean, to be comfortable and to have the basics of necessity.
There's no reason.
The wealthy, there's no reason in the world for people to live that way, much less in this country alone. And the fact that there are just a handful of people that if they literally dropped $1 billion out of their money stash, which would be a blink in the eye, they wouldn't even notice it was gone.
That's right.
The repercussions of what that could do to just
Yeah.
help everybody get back on their feet again is astronomical. You know, it just the one feeds into the next. Um, the first card I drew for you is the resting tree. And it says on here, patience and stillness. So I think that in order to hear from your dad, you're going to have to be able to get yourself into that sweet space where you can kind of shut down what's going on around you and you can plug into spirit to hear what he wants to say. And then I pulled from the universe has your back. As you can see, it's written backwards, quite literally. This is mirror work.
She can't read it because
I
it's
thought
backwards.
I'm having, yeah, it's
Hold it up. Let's see if I can read it.
see if you can interpret that.
Word. My problem is I can't see that far. The first word is word, I think, or world. I can't see the letters at all.
Yeah, it's
Do you have a mirror?
good idea. Yes, I do. I have right here. Use your brain, Sherry. Let's see what it says. Why is it still showing it? All right, I'm using the mirror. Okay, I don't know what they did. It's still showing up backwards.
Ooh, that's kind of creepy, isn't it?
That is.
That's weird, huh?
That is very weird.
Well,
Mirror
maybe.
work. Okay, well, we'll just go with mirror work, and the rest isn't important if I can't read it. I don't know what the hell it's saying, but mirror work is just as you as you get yourself in this position, in this resting tree, and you relax and you open up your senses so that you can hear your dad, that's also going to help you do that mirror work. And that's dealing with your own demons or battles or whatever you want to call it. That's dealing with your shit, basically, is what it comes down to. And then I ended up with the Knight of Coins, Saint Matthew. So, uh, yeah, coins. So that's pentacles,
Yeah, yeah.
and that is he's trying to tell you to be more efficient, to be more practical, to set up your routine and stick with it for now, because that's what works best for you, rather than just willy-nilly doing things. Yeah, no, that's it. That's all he's saying is
Well, I pulled a divine feminine oracle card, and it's interesting because remember, you got the high priestess, and I said to look within and trust your instincts, and you have the strength and the wisdom inside of you. So we got the Dakini, which says the enlightened feminine, the high priestess,
oh,
right?
cool.
My gut instinct is wise beyond reason. I trust my intuition to guide me. And a little bit of encouragement. You know Pandora's box, and when Pandora's box was opened, all the evils of the world flew out, and that's why life is so difficult, right? That's basically the Greek myth. But what no one ever talks about is when all the evil flew out, there was one thing left in the box, and that thing was hope. So just keep that in mind.
Very good.
And I'm getting that you should reach out. Don't, you probably know this, but don't hesitate to reach out. There are organizations and services and people who will help. You never know where that helping hand may come from next. So certainly put yourself out there to get help.
Most definitely. And then if you're in a situation where, because you and your daughter are homeless, that can create a very dangerous situation for her, especially with school and the way school kids treat one another nowadays. That could do a lot of damage. Yeah, I'm really just pick. He just wants you to know that everything's going to be okay. He's got your back. You're going to be fine. Just keep plugging away, and something's going to come up for you. Something that's going to help get y'all out of being homeless. I know how much harder it is to get anything done when you don't have
A permanent
place
address.
of your
Yeah,
own.
it's
Yeah,
crazy. It's just so hard.
exactly. So I hope that resonated with you, Andrea. Thank you for sticking around. Certainly, I missed it. We could have certainly have answered it earlier. But sometimes the chat rolls so fast I can't keep up. I'm trying to watch it and talk and do cards.
I can't even read it at all. I can't. You know, my eyes and my brain don't work that well together. I'm serious. I can't do it.
Well, that's everybody.
It's
Thank you
bedtime.
very much.
Past your bedtime, everybody.
It is, yes, time to go to bed now.
Go brush your teeth.
Wash your face.
That's right.
And thank y'all for coming and hanging out. Thank you, Helen, for buzzing me up and saying, "Hey, you want company?" It's like, yeah.
It was fun. I always love doing this, and I love being able to. It's an honor to read cards for people. That's a lot of trust, and
Yeah,
I'm honored to be able to do it. And I hope in some small way it helps somebody somewhere. So
exactly.
thanks you
Exactly.
guys for listening to us rattle on.
Exactly. Sometimes we can get a little long-winded.
No, you and me? No, no, no.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we can talk till the cows come home and keep right on talking.
Well, I have to go to bed because I have to do a thing in the morning. Oh God, and I have to be able to think.
Yeah, I have two shows tomorrow. I don't want to think about it yet. Um, I got Sun Psychic Jean's going to be visiting me tomorrow at.
Oh, tell her I said hi.
I will at what time? 2 o'clock Central tomorrow afternoon. So Sun Psychic Jean will be on my channel, and then uh, at 4:30 Central Time I'll have um, Amy Princess Warrior. We do
Oh, I love that
once a month.
name.
We do
Well,
a once a month, and we do like a monthly mystery. We read up on a cold case and then try to figure out.
what cold case are you going to do?
This one is on three men buddies that doing something that they normally do anytime they could all get away together. Um, there was an incident with their boat, um, and it sunk out from underneath them,
Mm-hmm.
and um, the oldest man swam to a certain point to try to get attention, but it didn't work. And he saw in the distance, he saw like a freighter boat that was picking up and delivering stuff. So he goes hauling butt back to the camp that they had set up, and is telling everybody, let's go and check this out, and just all kinds of stuff happened in the process of it. So it's
And were they lost forever, or did they die and they found their bodies?
well, one guy, the older guy, decided that I'm gonna. They managed to get into a life raft, and the life raft sprung a leak.
Oh God, what a nightmare! Ugh.
Exactly. And so the oldest and heaviest guy, finally decided I'm going to swim towards the direction that I think that the beach is, right? And in the process, while he's hanging out of the water, because he got to a point where he was just too tired to swim, he just had to he
Float.
found a buoy or something that he kind of
Yeah.
hung on to float. And he saw a ship in the distance
Yeah.
where their ship would have been. And so he's thinking, okay, my partners got picked up and they're okay. And he was found like 3 days later, I think it was.
Yeah.
And
Alive?
yeah. And while he's in the hospital, he starts asking for his buddies. He's like, well, I know that y'all would have picked them up by now because that freighter, shipping freighter that I saw came by earlier in the week, and they were like,
Yeah. What are you talking about?
no, we didn't see anything like that. So I'm like, okay, lovely.
So that really is a mystery. It's weird.
It
That's
is.
very weird.
So
It's
and when
weird
the
until you realize how big the
one
ocean
guy
is.
that swam away, he winds up getting rescued. And so the first thing he's doing is, well, do you know where my friends are that y'all
Yeah.
rescued a couple of days ago? And they're like, we
Nobody got
haven't rescued
rescued.
anybody
Yeah.
else. You're the only one we found. It's like, well, what about the ship that was in the distance? And they couldn't find anybody that would own up to the fact that they had a ship out in the middle of the ocean.
Where was this, in the Gulf?
No, it was in I want to say either Pacific Northwest or New York Northeast.
So the potential
It was like
exists that there was
very
somebody out there doing something illicit they don't want to admit they were out there, huh?
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's really bad.
And yeah, I mean, it's very discouraging when you think about it.
Sherry, I have to go because I have to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So, like in a half an hour.
I'm having a hard time keeping my eyes open.
Okay, well,
Thank you for joining me tonight. It makes it fun.
Thanks
to
for
have somebody
having
that I
me.
can chit chat with. Thank y'all in the chat for coming and spending your evening with us. Thank you for letting us delve into your energy and read for you. I find it a great privilege when that happens. And y'all have a great week.
Buonasera.
There you go. Adios, amigos, and have a good one.